Hello everyone and welcome back to the Marketing Empress. If you're new here, hi, my name is Samradni and I create content on all things marketing. I upload on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. So if you are interested in increasing your learnings around marketing, ensure that you subscribe to the channel right away and hit the bell notification icon so that the next time any content around marketing is uploaded on this channel, you are notified. So I guess that's enough for an introduction. Now let's not waste more time and get into the video directly. Now initially we were introduced to the concept of 4 P's of marketing, and later on there were additional P's added whereby the overall P's became 7 and later 9 as well. And it's one of the most important or crucial concepts of marketing that every marketing student must be aware of, and you will come across this particular concept in your undergrad or your postgrad, so it's not something you're going to miss. But this book, The Purple Cow by Seth Godin, talks about another P of marketing, okay, which is the purple cow. In this particular video, I will also be covering my top 5 learnings from this book. So ensure that you stick around right till the end of the video, because the fifth learning is actually the best one. So you must stick around till the end to know about all the 5 learnings that I've gained after reading this book. Now imagine a road trip to a farmhouse. On the way you come across a herd of cattle. Now there are some white cows, some black cows, some white and black cows, some brown cows, etc. Now that's not going to, create any kind of reaction from your end. But imagine in this herd you come across a purple cow. Now you're bound to stop and have a look at it, right? This is exactly what the book focuses on. So in the clutter that we see around, if you have something like a purple cow, you're bound to stand out and get the kind of reaction you require from your consumers. So if your brand falls under the category of something like a black, brown or white cow, consumers are not going to react. But if you have a purple cow, they will surely stop, stare and react to what your communication asks for. Now the book divides the current scenario into 3 eras. Let's look at these 3 eras. First, before advertising. Now this was the time when word of mouth communication worked really well to sell your products. Brick and mortar system was prevalent across and it was used to increase your sales. Second, during advertising. Now in this era we were introduced to some form of advertising, and the wealthiest brands out there bothered to take that extra effort to ensure that the consumers get more visibility towards their own brand. So we were still receptive to advertising in this particular era. And the third one, after advertising. This is the era where we are living in right now, where advertising is not an add-on, it's actually a must. And this is exactly the reason why consumers today are bombarded with advertising messages to such an extent that they just don't care anymore. Now let's dive into the top 5 learnings that I've gained after reading this book. Number 1. Advertising is losing its power because it's so abundant. Now the book says today mass media is extremely redundant. Consumers are extremely picky when it comes to choosing a particular product that may be introduced to them. Now if at all a consumer is interested in buying a car, he may acknowledge a full page print ad that you put out for your brand, or he may completely turn a blind eye. I believe this is precisely why the concept of targeted ads came in. Now when you try to look for a product on Amazon or Flipkart, Google understands or knows the kind of products that you're looking for and then targets communication accordingly. So say for example you've browsed through some product category on Amazon, and then you go onto Facebook to just spend some time looking at looking at content from your friends or something like that, and you might come across a communication that talks about your previous searches on Amazon. That's behavioral targeting coming into play. If you guys are not aware of what behavioral targeting is, I have a separate blog post for it on the Marketing Empress blog, and I will link it somewhere at the top here so you guys can have a read and know the concept in detail. Now, say as a marketing manager, you take into account a particular television ad spot to run your advertising commercial. Now, this ad spot is going to be seen by a lot of people given the TRP ratings that a particular show holds. There's no denying that. But understand that only a fraction of these people who've seen your ad are actually going to be interested in it. A fraction of those interested people are going to acknowledge it. A fraction of those acknowledged people are going to end up buying your product. So eventually, it's all going to come down to ensuring that those acknowledged people are actually leading into converting your sale. The perfect example to understand this can be brands that are already using targeted ads. Let's take an example of Zivame. Now, for those who are not aware, Zivame is a lingerie brand, and I have been using their products for a very long period of time. So whenever they come across a situation where they know I am interested in buying particular product from their catalog, they will talk about their communication to me through Facebook or other social media platforms because they know I am interested in their products. Now that works really well for them because they are targeting only those people who might genuinely be interested in their content or their product. Number 2, to stand out in the modern world, your product needs to be remarkable. Now, most of us feel that marketing is about communicating about your product or your brand. But the book states that marketing starts with the development of the product itself. How many times have you used a product which is not good, but it's advertised so well that you ended up buying it? Okay, so that might work in few brands' favor because see, you invest a lot of money in extremely creative advertising. You go all out there, you talk about your product all throughout, and you make your consumer buy your product. But what happens then is that the consumer starts using the product soon to realize that the product is not really good. What happens then? What happens is that the consumer doesn't opt for a repeat purchase. And trust me, guys, marketing is all about ensuring repeat purchases because we are not looking for one-time consumers. We are looking for loyalists, right? So we need to ensure that the product itself is remarkable, which leads to repeat purchases. Now let's take an example of one of my favorite shopping sites, the Soul Store. These are the guys who create these amazing message t-shirts and something that I really look forward to whenever I'm interested in buying a t-shirt or something like that. Now think about it. Have they started marketing after their products were created? No, not really. They started marketing the moment they decided to come up with understanding what the consumer is liking currently. What are the sitcoms that the consumers are more interested in? Will this particular message on t-shirt work well or not? What is the kind of merchandise that I can come up with that will entice my consumers? So that's also some form of marketing coming into the picture before the product development. And that helps in the long run when the product is actually out there in the market. Number 3, taking risks is better than avoiding risks altogether. Now, most companies believe that innovation is extremely risky. Shouldn't I be doing something which is already tried and tested? What if I come up with some sort of communication that is criticized by my consumers? What if it's something that my consumers don't really like? Should I be trying something new or should I just stick to what I've been doing for so long? See, you cannot answer these questions without taking any risks. Trust me when I say this, there is absolutely no place in the modern world for boring products. So in a crowded marketplace, not standing out is equal to being invisible. Now the best example for this can be the Dove Beauty campaign. Now what happened in this case is that all across this category of beauty soaps, there were brands promoting this idealized version of beauty, of what you can achieve after using their products. Whereas Dove came up with this different proposition altogether where they decided to highlight the real you, the real beauty that each one of us possesses, and they decided to come up with this entire space where the idealized version of beauty just doesn't seem perfect. What you have right now or what you're born with is something that you need to look forward to and be appreciative of. Number 4, your focus needs to be consumers who are willing to buy and at the same time are willing to talk about it. Now, typically, your consumers will fall into one of these 4 categories. Number 1, innovators. They are always on the lookout for something different and something new out there. Second, early adopters. Now, these are the guys who are willing to experiment with the new products being introduced in the market because they want to have that additional add-on whenever possible. Third, early and late majorities. Now, they will opt for a product only when they see that majority of the rest are also using it. So, it's a safe product and I might, try it out. The last category is that of laggards. Now, when it comes to laggards, what happens is that they are the ones who are not willing to adopt any product and they will only buy a product or a brand if they find it absolutely necessary. Now, according to this book, our communication or our advertising efforts need to be targeted towards the early adopters. Now, while they may not be the majority of consumers according to the 4 segments that we just spoke about, they will still benefit your brand in the long run. Because in the advertising world, we can expect word of mouth communication to work brilliantly. And when it comes to the early adopters, they will not only try new products, they will also communicate about the new products to their friends and peers. Okay, so it works in a brand's favor. If you have some free time on hand, I would definitely recommend you guys to check out these mobile phone video reviews on YouTube if you haven't already checked them out. Now, whenever I need to buy any equipment, I will go ahead and see these reviews, and most of the times it's a mobile phone. So I will go ahead and look at these YouTube reviews and then make my purchase decision. Now, as a brand, if I am not available for my consumers when they are trying to research about a product category, then I'm definitely missing out on something. Number 5. Many companies fear criticism, ridicule, and change that being remarkable would bring. Now, there are pros and cons to everything. Okay, so it can always be the case that you do extensive market research, you go out there, you test your product, etc., and it may give you amazing results. But when you come up with an advertising campaign around those same learnings that you've derived from your market research, the product may still fail in the market. So that's, I think, something that's inevitable. You cannot really do anything much about it. However, it's important to note that even criticism brings in some amount of publicity. So any negative talks around your brand may also help create around some buzz marketing. If you're not aware of what buzz marketing is, I have a separate video on it and I will link it somewhere on the top so you guys can check out what buzz marketing is all about. But it's important to know that if you stop yourself from experimenting, you are actually letting go of ever trying to increase your consumer base and trying to learn from your marketing efforts. Alright, so that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed and learned something out of this particular video. If you did, let us know your feedback in the comments below. Appreciation or any criticism is always welcome. So please go ahead and do that. And also put in any recommendations for any marketing or business book in general that you've recently read and you want me to read it and review it for you guys. Until next time, of course, ensure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel by hitting the bell notification icon so that you're notified about the next video upload. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.